Small pleasures, small pleasures, who would deny us these? Gin toddies, large measures. That sound like Elaine Street? No skimping if you please. I rough it, I love it. Life is a game of chance. I'll never tire of it, leading a merry dance. Merry dance, there's a good drag name. Oh, I'm sorry. It's force of habit, you know. After 5 years of doing Priscilla all around Australia and New Zealand and London and Toronto and Broadway, you start to see drag names everywhere you look, even in Shakespeare. It's true. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. Now, you can't tell me that Hanlon's drag name wasn't nor a lender be. No, it's true. No, honestly, Priscilla was a game changer for me because after an almost 50-year career, it's the reason that I'm standing here tonight. It got me from Australia to New York. And that's what I love so much about being an actor, because you never know what's just around the corner. If you don't mind having to go without things, it's a fine life. Though it ain't all jolly old pleasure outings, it's a fine life. When you've got someone to love, you forget your cares and strife. Let the prunes look down on us, let the wide world frown on us, it's a fine, fine life. I come from a very well-loved show business family in Australia. My grandparents were big stars in vaudeville and radio as comedians. My auntie is Helen Reddy, who wrote I Am Woman. She was the first Australian to win a Grammy Award. My dad was a dancer, and my mother was a big musical theatre star. So it came as no surprise that I made my first stage appearance in the musical Oliver when I was 10 years old. I played one of Fagin's gang. My mother was Nancy. So was I, truth be told. But just a little bit around the edges. Who cares if straight laces sneer at us in the street? Fine airs and fine graces don't have to sit to it. We wander through London, who cares what we may find? There's pockets left undone on many a behind. If you don't mind taking it as it turns out, it's a fine life. Keep the candle burning until it burns out. It's a fine life. Though you sometimes do come by the occasional black eye, you can always cut one while he blinks the other one, but you don't dare cry. I was in Oliver for 2 years, 2.5 years. And you know how long runs get a little bit boring, especially when you're 10. Now we weren't allowed, the kids weren't allowed to wear makeup in Oliver. We had burnt cork. You take like a bottle of wine bottle and you get a cork and you set fire to it and you just dab the dirt. You never get that smell out of your system once you smell a burnt cork, okay? But after a couple of years with the show, one day I was trotting down the street and I passed a theatrical makeup shop. So I went in and I bought a couple of sticks of grease paint, and that night when the show had started I was sitting in the dressing room, so I drew on a black eye. It was really spectacular, you know, yellow and purple and red and black. And I went, oh, so then I drew a really angry red scar down the face. Then I was on a roll, so I blacked out a few teeth. Suddenly I heard the cue for Consider Yourself. I went, oh my God, I'm on. And, but I didn't have time to take all the makeup off because otherwise I would have missed my entrance. So I just shot on stage hoping that nobody would notice. And unfortunately, the next scene after that was my first entrance into Fagin's den when Fagin is introducing the kids to Oliver. And the actor playing Fagin got one look at me and he stopped dead. And he stared and he said,
Don't be frightened by that one, Oliver. He was trampled by a horse last Wednesday.
Absolutely true. No flux, no feather, no frills and furbelows. All winds and all weathers ain't good for fancy clothes. These trappings, these tatters, these I can just afford. What future, what manners, I've got my bed and board. If you don't mind having to deal with Fagin, it's a fine life. Though diseased rats threaten to bring the plague in, it's a fine life. Though the grass is green and dense on the right side of the fence, and we take good care of it, and we get our share of it, and we don't being paid. So I love being in Oliver. But you know, it was quite a dark and gloomy show in the beginning with the workhouse and then the undertaker's parlour. But then Nancy makes her first entrance into the show, and my mother came on in this fire engine red dress, all the cleavage in the show. She had all the beautiful dark hair tumbling down around her shoulders. And I used to look at her every night, and I'd see the beautiful lights on her. She just looked so fabulous. And I'd look at the audience, and they were gazing at her adoringly, and I thought, this is it. This is what I want to do with my life. I am going to be a musical comedy leading lady. If you don't mind having a life all perfect, it's a fine life. Though there's no tea sipping and eating crumpet, it's a fine life. Not for me, the happy home, happy husband, happy wife. Though it sometimes touches me, for the likes of such as me, it's a fine